Good morning. Welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire, the Diamonds. A few technical difficulties, and I can't believe I accepted you logging in, Marie-Pierre. Like a big girl by myself. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I love today's podcast. Mel Robbins, the whole chapter 7, really, be with me, lean in, take notes, because it's all about when grown-ups throw tantrums. And I've been in multi-level marketing business for over 40 years. I can tell you dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of stories of adults, grown-ups throwing tantrums. First of all, let me begin with how ridiculous we look. And I'm going to include myself in there because, yes, I've thrown that tantrums. So remember, this is not a motivational podcast. It's not an inspirational podcast. It's really about transformation. So when grown-ups throw tantrums, what you're going to hear today that will transform you, I'm hoping, because it's transformed me. Just reading it yesterday, getting it ready, and rereading my notes this morning is the way you deal with people, pressure, guilt, silence, disappointment, and emotional reactions. And I think somewhere in all of this, we can say, I'm still doing this or I was doing this. Let me talk to you about silence. I am the queen of silence. Okay, not anymore, but this I learned it from my dad. I got it from my papa. I got it from my papa. He was it. And it really okay, it was crazy. It was always killing me. So I'm going to bring you the story, the real life examples, the leadership lesson behind emotional maturity. Jean-Philippe will bring you the psychology, the science behind why that adults react like kids. In French, I'm going to say why adults react like bébé lalas. That's how I'm going to say it in French. I use my own translation. And then again, Marie-Pierre, thank you so much. The social mirror, the social mirror. So before we go anywhere, I think we need to share this podcast with anybody that holds grudges, gives you the silent treatment, shows how disappointed they are, almost, throwing themselves on the floor to let you know how disappointed they are. So first of all, let me just remember to say hello to everybody. I want to know who's here. So we have Martin, Noel, thank you. Sherry is here. Louise Gauthier, because last week I didn't say this. And James. Stay close to the fire. That's who I wanted to see, okay? So James is going through, there's ups and downs in life. And one of the things that we must all remember, and thank you, James, for being here, is when the wind is against you, I call it life is against you, stay close to the fire. The last thing you want to do is get away from the fire. So I'm so happy to see you here, James, okay? Olga's with us, and now we can begin. Over to you, Marie-Pierre.
Yay! Okay, so it's time to share. So you have the arrow just beside where you write your comments, so you can share on every social media platform, and you have a text in the comment that you can copy paste when you share, so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. And then, of course, when you have someone in mind, the best way to make sure they will click on the link is to send it directly by messenger, by text message. So send it directly, and when you share, you're gonna see or have those options to share directly with one person at a time. And then we have our contents, Les Millionnaires Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group, Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time that you post, every time that you comment, every time that you put a reaction, you gain point during the month to be in the top 10 contributor. And at the end of the month, you show up. That's so funny. We have like the trio, the most focused. That was so funny. Okay.
Oh, wait. Jean-Philippe does it's okay. He's still young, but I do it too, and I'm 60.
It always happens. Something happens. Someone open the door, comes to talk to you. But that's funny when both of you at the same time.
I have movers here today. It's like,
Okay. Now, okay. So when you go on the Facebook group, so you gain point when you comment, when you react, when you comment,
And
and
I know
yeah.
your speech. I know your speech. Take a picture,
Oh, okay.
take a picture, 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 take a picture. Oh my
Okay,
God.
so the upsell top 10 would get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. You need to put the cover, Maya.
I know, but I feel like because I was going take a picture, take a picture.
Okay, so now it's time to take a picture because we have a draw at the end of the month. So to be in the draw, you have to post some picture and always tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first with the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So when you when you place an order on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants, or when you receive your order, always take a picture and post and tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw. And same thing with the books Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So you just receive another book, you take a picture, and then you read what other book, you take a picture. You're doing one of the quiz book again, you take a picture, and then you do something with your agenda, Limiana Dema. You then take a picture and post on social media and always tag Limiana Dema to be in the draw. And last thing, if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, it's time to click on the link and be with us for the next conference. And it's a virtual conference. That means that's anywhere in the world you can join us for the conference. And Maria will be in Italy from Italia.
La costiera amalfitana.
Voila! So it's gonna be really fun. But so you can join us.
I'll make
Yeah.
sure when it's my part, I'm going to put the angle so you see the entire coat. We're in Positano, like the World Heritage. You're like, woohoo!
Woohoo! So voila. Again, if you want to be with us in the studio during the conference, send me a message when you get your ticket so I can add you to the list to be with us in the studio. Voila!
Thank you so much, guys. I saw now Dion is with us. Megan is with us. Welcome, my friends. Nicole is with us. I'm so wonderful. We got French people on the English. Yes, yes, yes. And let me tell you, repetition brings conviction. So this is going to be powerful today because it's going to touch something we all know, but we do not always want to admit. Are you leaning in? Do you have a pen and paper? Okay, James, pen and paper. Like, guys, we need pen and paper. There are grown-ups who throw tantrum, not always by screaming, slamming doors. Sometimes the tantrum is silence. Sometimes the tantrum is guilt. They make you feel guilty. Passive aggressive comments. Famous for texting messages like, fine, I'm going to add to this. Do you need help? No, I'm good. I'll do it myself. I can go on and on. I mean, I just this segment, I said, oh my gosh, I could give so much information. So go in the messages because I love reading you guys afterwards. Do you know anybody like this? Or is this you, or was this you? And here is the truth. Many times we're not making decision based on what is right. We are making decision based on how someone else might react. I've been there. When I started in this multi-level marketing business, I was only 18 years old. So of course, I would say yes when I really wanted to say no. Of course, I would stay quiet when I really had something to say and speak. Of course, I apologize when I did absolutely nothing wrong. Can anybody recognize themselves here? We change our plans because someone may be disappointed. We walk on eggshell because someone's mood is bigger than our peace. And that is where this chapter becomes truly transformational. Remember, this is a transformational podcast. You're not here to be motivated. You're not here to be inspired. You're here to transform yourself. So Mel Robbins says this. This is what she teaches, and it's so powerful. Let them react. So if you're leaning in and taking down notes, let them react. Let them be disappointed. Let them be upset. Let them go in silence mode. That was my dad. Oh my God, when he gave you the silence treatment. Let them misunderstand what I just said. Let them pout. Let them make it all about them. But then comes the most important part. And again, if you're leaning in and you're taking down notes, let me choose peace. Let me choose maturity. Let me choose what is right for me and my life. Let me stop parenting adults. Reminds me of the welcome class. Okay, you are responsible, and this is the strength of our company. This is the strength of my family. I don't parent anybody. My kids were born. I said, grow, go work, go do something. Was right away, right away. That sentence alone can change somebody's life. Stop parenting adults. Did you write at least that one down? Stop parenting adults. Because many of us, especially leaders, especially mothers, women who care deeply, have been trained to manage everyone's emotions. So I'm really talking to the majority of women because it's really women always make themselves smaller to leave space to everybody else. They feel the energy in the room. We feel when someone is upset. We feel when someone is disappointed. And before they even know it, the majority of women are saying anything to make them feel better and adjusting themselves. Okay. And when I read this, I said, this is so true. But emotional maturity is realizing this. I'm not being mature when I'm shrinking myself to make you feel better. I need to be able to say these things. And these are words that I really wrote down in black, like thick black. Okay. I can love you without carrying your reaction. I can respect you without obeying your mood. I can care about you without abandoning myself. Now, anybody here in the comments, is any of this resonating with you? Because for me this morning and yesterday, it was truly resonating with me. And that is a leadership lesson in itself. So if ever you get an angry customer, if I bring it back to our own business or a reaction from a Salesforce members, I understand, but I'm going to let you have the grudge. It's not a me problem because emotionally immature people create chaos. Emotionally mature people create safety. In a family, in friendship, in business, in a team, it is not the person with the loudest reaction who should lead the room. It is the person with the calmest center. And often for us at home, it's really Mohammed, right? And let's be honest, we can all think of someone who acts like an 8-year-old in a grown-up body. Can you go write their names and family names so we're sure that we will keep them out of our lives? I'm joking. Don't you dare write any names there. Okay. So the person who avoids the conversations, the ones who give the silent treatment, the ones who explode, then act as if nothing happened, the ones who always play victim, who make you feel guilty for having boundaries. Can you think of anybody? But here is where maturity really comes in. We don't look at them with hate. We look at them with compassion from a safe distance. So I'm talking to all you people on the podcast that want to be transformed, because maybe the person with the tantrum or whatever, they never learned how to process emotion. Maybe that person was never taught how to say, I'm hurt. Maybe that person never learned how to say how disappointed I am. Let me explain it to you. They have no clue how to regulate themselves. And that's a them problem. It's not a me problem. If it was my child and they were 2 years old, that's a me problem, right? I need to teach my children how to handle their emotions. But once they're adults, it's no longer my job. But compassion does not mean permission. What compassion says here, what Mel Robbins says, and I really, really love it. Compassion does not mean I allow you to disrespect me. I'm going to shrink myself or keep shrinking myself so you stay comfortable. I'm going to let your emotions of immaturity run my personal life. Like how many women and men are in relationship with their spouses that their entire lives are run by their emotional spikes, right? And now comes the hardest part of the mirror, right? Sometimes we are the grown-ups throwing the tantrum. Sometimes, are you that person throwing the tantrum? I remember one day at Costco, was a young mother of 3. I was probably 33, 34 years old. And something happened at the cash. I don't even remember, but what I do remember is how ridiculous I handled the situation. I pulled the tantrum. I looked like a total idiot. What a horrible example for my kids. Left all the groceries there. But then only to realize we were December 23rd, I still needed to get groceries. So I left this Costco to go all the way to Lackett. Like How stupid. So when I was writing this and reading this, I said, oh my God, oh, how I can connect, with all of this. So that takes courage also to admit where you are still having tantrums, right? Where you are still behaving as a child. True leadership is not saying, look how much immature they are. True leadership is saying, where do I still need to grow? Haha. So this is where I was questioning myself today. And I've worked on it a lot. And there's always room for improvement. But I gave an example of what happened yesterday. I was training for US and Canada. And while I was training, there was someone on the Zoom who was folding clothes or folding merchandise, but moving. And I said to Jean Philippe and Marie Pierre, if it would have been me like 5, 6, maybe 10 years ago, because I'm sure of myself, I would have said, and how's the clothes folding? Thank God you came to the training. I hope you're getting I would have so reacted to that. So maturity today, I have matured a lot because I did not say that. I did not see that. I did not let it disturb me while training, but it did give me a great example to share with you today. Okay. So always remember, you need to be the emotional, mature person. You can feel hurt and not attack back. You can feel disappointed and not manipulate. You can feel angry and not destroy anything. You can feel overwhelmed and not dump it on somebody else. That person is not a garbage can. This is power. And one of the biggest lessons in this chapter is the pause. You write this down, okay? Before you answer, before you text, before you explain, before you defend, before you explode, pause. Breathe. I think we read this somewhere else about like 3 times. Breathe. Let the emotion rise, let it move through you, and then let it settle. Because not every emotion will deserve an action. Not every feeling deserves a text. Not every reaction deserves your response. Sometimes the most powerful thing is that you can say is nothing. I walk away today. He who doesn't know and doesn't know, they don't know, walk away. Did I do that 6 years ago? No. Today, yes. So that's where the growth has come in my personal, for me, for my husband, for my kids. They didn't change. I changed. Who have I allowed to control my peace? Ask yourself that question, because as of today, you can change that. Now, Jean-Philippe, I wanted to hand it over to him because what we just explored through the story and real life example, Jean-Philippe is going to help you better understand, why do adults react this way? Why are emotions contagious? So get away from tantrum people, okay? Why does stress make people explosive? So with no further ado, I just love this chapter. Over to you, Jean-Philippe.
Yes, thank you, Maria. Good morning, everyone. So let's just take the truth, okay? Most adults don't know how to manage their emotion. And it's not because they're bad or manipulative, but most of the time it's because that they were never taught how they should do it. So we want to understand why is it this way, and we are going to cover it through 4 pillars. So first one is learn emotional regulation. The second one is about the neuroscience of emotion. The third one is about the emotional contagion. And finally, we are going to talk about the impact of stress and emotional immaturity. So first pillar, emotional regulation does not automatically with age, okay? So the psychology teaches us that children are not born with the ability to manage their emotion. They will acquire it through a process that is called co-regulation. So it's with the help of an adult who helps them name, contain, and move through their emotion. So the example that Maria just gave. So imagine a child like in a toys aisle. Okay, they want that Lego that is on the counter. Okay, and they say no, you can have it. So what is happening is through their body, okay, they had a flood of emotion, sadness, disappointment, surprise, even anger. They cry, they throw themselves on the floor, they do the bacon, okay, and they have like a big tantrum, okay. The solution, okay, is not to buy them the Lego. The solution is for the adult, okay, to bend down and look in the eyes of the kids and say, yes, it's hard. You can have it. Is it like a need or is it like just luxury? Okay. Sometimes you get disappointed in life and that's it. Okay. And you let them process instead of yelling at them, calm down, you should not, no, you won't have it, and you overreact it. Okay. What is happening is the way that they will see you manage your own emotion is what they will copy in the future. So instead of becoming emotionally immature as an adult, try to just calm down and help that kid, okay? Be sure that he is copying the right way to manage emotion. And we see it, okay, that the way that the child will reproduce. So if a children sulk, adults most of the times given the silent treatment, as Maria was talking. So if like a children throw tantrums, this is where adult will send message, okay, that they will regret later, okay? And if children lies, this will build adult that will lie, okay? Lies in the future. So I'm pretty sure that you recognize some of the behavior. So first of all, recognize those behavior to be able to act on it. Second pillar, the science of emotion. It says that there is a 90 seconds rule, okay? And this one is very important, okay? So this will help you understand the relationship that you have with your emotion. So an emotion is not a mysterious state of mind, okay? It is not who you are. An emotion is simply a chemical burst in your brain. So what is happening? You see a trigger, a look, a word, a silence, something is happening. It will activate your amygdala. It will release, okay, neurotransmitter and hormones through your body. And what will happen? It only takes 6 seconds that it spread through your body and that you feel, okay, that emotion. Okay, then if you don't react to that emotion, okay, if you don't feed it, okay, with thoughts, with stories, with interpretation, okay, that chemical will dissipate, but it will only go away in 90 seconds, which means that you should not react inside that 90 seconds. And this is the most important part because suffering does not come from the emotion itself. Suffering comes from the stories that you attach in that 90 seconds to the emotion that you are feeling. So, like most of the times you tell yourself, oh, she disrespect me, he disrespect me, okay? He did that on purpose. I don't deserve this. You are connecting, okay, false stories to those emotions, which like continue, okay, with that flood of hormones, and it does not help you to say, let them. But if you get that 90 seconds without reacting, this is really the let them theory that says, let them, okay, do what they want and let me not react immediately. The third pillar, the emotional contagion. So why mood spreads, okay? This is a phenomenon, okay, that neuroscience explain, okay? They say that mood spread like viruses, okay? So why? It's because it's called the mirror neurons. So the mirror neurons are cells in our brain that activate both when we do something and when you watch someone else do the same thing. Just think of when you're yawning, okay? It gives you like you're yawning at it, like also right after. Well, it's the same with emotion, okay? And this will be especially hard, okay, to control if, okay, it comes from a parent, a boss, or a leader. Okay, it will spread through the entire system. So if somebody is anxious, like a parent, most of the times that anxiety will be transferred to the children, okay? And it's the same if you have like an immature leader, this will destabilize the entire organization in the future. So Mel Robbins explained in its book that emotions are contagious because our brain evolved to read other people's emotion. Okay, it was kind of a survival mechanism, but in the world that we are living in, that contagion can be exhausting. So this is where I really need to understand that I need to let them. Okay, I don't need that their emotion to be contagious on me. And finally, the fourth pillar, okay, is called the stress, okay, how stress amplify emotional immaturity. So here it's an acronym that help us understand what amplify that immaturity. And the acronym is HALT. Okay, HALT, HALT. Okay, so if you're hungry, if you're hangry, if you're lonely, and if you're tired, what is happening is if you are in one of those four states, okay, this will be worse for you to regulate your emotion because you don't have fully control over your body and yourself. Okay, this is why you send like a rage text late at night when you're tired. This is why you snap at your kid if you're hungry. This is why, okay, a conversation that could have been simple, okay, turned into an argument because you're stressed, you're exhausted. Okay, so the amygdala is always there, okay, in permanent alert if you are in one of those four states. And some of the researchers that Mel Robbins interviewed explained that emotion like sadness, disappointment, frustration, and anger, they are normal, okay, and they are healthy reaction. The problem isn't the emotion, it's what you do with it. So if you're hungry, tired, lonely, or angry, okay, don't react instead, okay, right away, okay? Try to stop, maybe to freeze, maybe like to just say, I need to sleep on that. So the solution is remember the halt before having a difficult conversation. If you're having one of those four state of mind, you should not act immediately. So now, okay, we want to understand how emotionally mature we are, okay? Or are you reacting like a children? And this is where Marie-Pierre will now going to help us reflect and see where we are in our state of mind, okay, according to that principle.
Thank you, Stephanie. So yes, it's time to do the quiz because we have to remember that today it's not about judging our emotion because we all have emotion. It's human. But the real question is, what version of you shows up when this emotion takes over? Because emotional immaturity is not about age. So we see people from small to really old that will explode or just shut down or manipulate or guilt trip or avoid and people please. So it's not about age. So we really want to see how emotional mature we are. So the question is not, are you emotional? Because everyone will say yes, but we are asking how emotionally mature you are. So again, for the quiz, you want to choose the answer that most honestly sounds like your natural reaction when you have this situation, not who you want to be, because it's easy to see which one you should answer, but who the person that you become emotionally when you have those triggers. So let's start. So for each question, you can answer A, B, or C. So question number one. So you walk into a room and someone is clearly upset. So what happened to your nervous system? A, I immediately feel anxious and responsible for fixing it. B, I become irritated, emotionally reactive too. Or C, I notice their emotion without absorbing it. Question number two. Someone important to you become cold and distant. So what do you usually do? A, I overthink, chase, or panic emotionally. B, I become angry or passive aggressive back. Or C, I respectfully communicate without losing yourself emotionally. Question number three. You've been stressed all day, so you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're emotionally full. Then one small thing happens. So what usually comes up? A, I withdraw emotionally and avoid. B, I explode bigger than the situation deserves. Or C, I recognize that I'm dysregulated and I slow myself down. Question number four. When you think about someone in your life, that mood affect the whole room. So what your role do you usually play? A, the peacemaker trying to prevent explosion. B, the reactor who also escalate emotionally. Or C, the grounded person who stay emotionally stable. And question number five. When stress builds in your life, so what usually happens to the people around you at home? A, they feel my withdrawal or emotional shutdown. B, they feel my emotional intensity or irritability. Or C, I try to process emotion without emotionally dumping on others. So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's? So if you have it mostly A, you are the silent one. So you likely suppress emotion, avoid conflict, overthink, emotionally withdraw, and shut down when overwhelmed. So people may think that, oh, this person is really calm, but internally your nervous system may be screaming. So your biggest challenge here is the avoidance. So you protect yourself by disappearing emotionally, but you want to grow and now express your emotion earlier and communicate honestly so you stop carrying all the emotional weight silently. Now, if you have mostly B, you are the volcano. So you likely react quickly, emotionally, explode, become defensive, absorb the stress intensely, and struggle to regulate your emotion under pressure. So you are not too emotional, but your nervous system is overloaded. So your biggest challenge here is that reaction speed. So the emotion takes over before that awareness arrives. So what you want to work here is to pause before reacting so you can regulate physically and separate the emotion from the behavior. And if you have mostly C, now you are the regulator. So you are learning that emotional maturity. So that doesn't mean that you never feel hurt or you're never triggered or you are emotionally perfect, but it means that emotions no longer control your identity, your behavior, or the peace that you have. So you understand that feelings are temporary and those reactions are a choice. So you want to really help regulate those environments without becoming emotionally irresponsible for everyone. So again, 3 points to become emotionally mature. Number one, identify all your patterns. So ask yourself, okay, when I'm stressed, what did I do today? Did I shut down? Did I exploit? Did I people please? Did I control? So that awareness is the first step to change everything. Number two, stop parenting adult. So you are not responsible for fixing everyone's mood or regulate everyone's emotion. So let them feel what they feel and let me do what I have to do. And number three, protect your nervous system. So pay attention to those moments, like Jean said, when you are hungry, when you are angry, when you are lonely or tired, because when you have that exhausted nervous system, those reactions will become fast. So just pay attention to protect your nervous system, because realize that emotionally immature people will always create that emotional chaos everywhere they go. So you want to become that emotionally mature person because you can create that safety for people around you. So on that, we wish you a beautiful day and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye everyone.